I'm Chris Duke from Motors, and today we're going to show you how to install a body kit from 3D Carbon on our 2008 Ford Mustang GT. Now, in the past 2 seasons of Motors, we've been building up our Mustang right here with a bunch of performance modifications. And in our very last episode, we finally got to the suspension by lowering it with an FR3 handling pack from Ford Racing. Now, with all of that out of the way, it's time to transform this Mustang from stock to wild with a body kit from 3D Carbon, paint from Wetworks Garage, Foose wheels from MHT Wheels, and new tires from Nitto. Now, we've got Jose from 3D Carbon stopping by to assist us with the installation of the body kit and show us some tips along the way. The guy's got over 10 years of experience doing just that at 3D Carbon, so we're thrilled to have him on our show today. Now, before we have Jose come on to the show, let's take a look at the tools that we're going to need. Now, for this installation, you're going to need a tape measure, a rivet gun, a Torx T25 bit, a grease pencil, some cutters, a puller tool, a Milwaukee 90-degree offset adapter, a file, various drill bits, various ratchets, sockets, and wrenches, a box knife, a power drill, some touch-up paint or primer, some pliers, as well as some needle nose pliers, an eraser wheel, some soapy water, some masking tape, some work gloves, and some protective eyewear, and of course, our old friend, the Milwaukee Sawzall. Well, welcome back. We've got Jose from 3D Carbon with us. Welcome to the show, Jose.
Hey, nice
How's it
to meet
going,
you.
man?
Good.
Now, we're going to install a Boy Racer body kit on our '08 Mustang here.
Yep.
What other kind of products do you guys make?
We have different body kits for like the Charger, a lot of Ford stuff, MKX, MKZ, Edge, all kinds of different vehicles.
Okay, so it's just mainly body kits then?
Yeah, mainly body kits and stuff, hood scoops and side scoops and all kinds of scoops.
Okay, and you guys are located up in the LA area?
No, we're in Newport Beach.
Newport Beach,
Yeah,
okay.
right by the ocean.
Okay, now for installing this, what kind of order do we have? We have a lot of different pieces here, as we saw earlier, so what's the order that we install all this stuff?
We'll usually do like the front bumper first, go to the rear bumper, and then basically we'll do the side skirts. It's kind of like a puzzle. Everything kind of fits together, and there's a certain order, the way you want everything to work together and fit together and stuff.
Let's get our Mustang backed up, and we'll start on the front end.
Cool.
Now, the first thing we need to do is we need to remove this stock bumper because we're going to be putting on a new one. Now, you can refer to an episode that we filmed last season on how to upgrade the headlights in a Mustang for the step-by-step on that. Now, we need to transplant the factory turn signal light as well as the fog light to the new bumper. So take a Torx T25 bit, remove the 4 screws that are holding that light on, and then as far as the side light, just take some needle nose, pinch these clips on the side, and it pops right out just like that. After tightening down the lower grill and snapping in the Eleanor grill, you can take your factory turn signal lights and slide them into this bracket, and you can tighten it down with the supplied hardware. Now, we need to cut off the lower half of this impact absorber with a bandsaw or a saber saw. We're going to use our good friend, our Milwaukee Sawzall, for that. So pop off these clips that are right on the front, and that slides right off. We're going to mark that and cut it next. After modifying our impact absorber and putting all of our factory lights back in our bumper, we can put this thing back on. So Jose, is there anything that we need to know about this before we put it back on?
No, what's good about our part is all the mounting points are exactly factory, so there's no weird brackets or anything. Everything mounts exactly in the factory holes.
Okay, let's put it back up on there. After reconnecting your fog lights, you can put your radiator cover back on and then tighten down these two 10mm bolts. Then you can shut your hood. Your front's pretty much done at this point. Now you don't want to secure the bumper to the vehicle yet. We'll do that after we install the fender flares. And with that front bumper out of the way, we've flipped the car around and we're going to start working on the rear bumper. First thing you want to do is open up your trunk and remove this panel off the back. And that'll allow us to pop out our tail lights. And then for the rear bumper, we've got those two screws just like on the front, on the sides. Jose's going to start working on that. And we've got a couple clips down there at the bottom as well. After removing the tail lights and those screws on the side, you've got 3 tree clips down there on the bottom you have to disconnect, as well as 4 11mm nuts on the inside that you got to remove. Finally, disconnect this electrical connection and you can pop the bumper off.
After removing the factory rear bumper, what we need to do, we need to remove this little bracket here that secures the rear bumper to the car. We no longer need that.
For the rear bumper, we have to do some transplanting as well. We've got this reinforcement strip that goes all along the top. We need to put that on the 3D carbon. To get that off, there are these rivets. We need to drill out the heads. And we also need to take care of this light. We need to transplant this light for the license plate, as well as these lights on the side. These all just pop out and pop right back in. There's also 2 more rivets here at the end underneath this. You're going to reuse that. Now, to assist in alignment of the new 3D carbon bumper, we have to clip off this post here that's on the side. Now, what are we going to put in its place?
This is a locator pin, which is in the factory bumper. So what we're going to do, we're actually going to cut it out, we're going to drill it, and then we're going to reinstall this insert here, which is going to come through the bumper, and it'll go through the car, and what it is, it gives you a fixed point for installation and stuff.
Okay, let's cut this guy off.
Yep. Just cut him. And then what we could do, we'll go ahead and drill it.
Now we're going to go ahead and reinstall the reinforcement strip in the 3D carbon bumper by using the provided screws and the rivets over on the side.
So using a tape measure, what we're going to do, we're going to mark an inch here, and then we'll make a mark, and then what we do, we go the other way, a ½ inch in, and then we put a little mark here. And then using the 3/8 drill bit, what we'll do, we'll drill a hole through. What that's going to do, that's going to give us a mounting point this way and a mounting point this way, because fitment on here on all the bumpers is just a weird critical part. And what it is, if we lock this into place here both ways, then the bumper fits really good.
Anytime you drill any holes into your vehicle, you want to make sure that you put some paint over it to prevent rust. Now, after letting that paint dry a little bit, we can go ahead and set the bumper up on here and reattach our wiring. Use the supplied pin and put it underneath the bumper. This is the one that points up, and tighten it on the inside of the trunk. And then finally put your taillights back in and put your trunk back together. After removing the 2 factory bolts that keep this spoiler attached to the trunk, put some blue tape or some masking tape around it so you don't scratch your paint, and then slowly lift up while using a blade to cut this double-sided tape away. And then once you've got that one side up, you can lift it up, twist it, peel off the other side. To get the rest of this double stick adhesive off of your trunk, you can use this eraser pad, which you can get at a body shop, or you can also buy it online. You can head over to our website to find a place where you can get that. Just use low RPMs and go real slow. Now tighten down the new 3D carbon spoiler with your Phillips screwdriver and the provided hardware. Now, if you don't have these factory holes provided by the manufacturer due to the stock wing, you're going to have to drill some new ones. Now, 3D Carbon provides a template, so you can drill some new holes for that. That looks pretty good. Now, when we come back from our break, we're going to show you how to install those side window louvers. Now for the side window louvers, we need to black this section out. So use the provided vinyl that you get from 3D Carbon and spritz some soapy water on the back of that and then position it into place to cover that up. You can use a credit card or a squeegee like we have here to get all that fluid out. And once that's dried and cleaned up, you can take that side window louver with the double sticky tape and put it on there. Now if you don't have that, we'll show you how to put that on in a little bit. So Jose, how do we stick this thing on? Do we just peel this off and push it on, or do we need to do a little bit more work here?
No, what you want to do, you want to go ahead and line it up. Lining it up on the window and everything, make sure the gaps are really nice and everything. Once you get everything good and everything looks pretty nice and tight, what you want to do, you want to use a little grease pencil, make a couple little marks, which are going to be like little marks for when you go ahead and reinstall it, line it all up. So you have a fixed point on where it goes and where it fits really nice.
Okay.
So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and take this off and then we'll clean the window. We're going to use a little lacquer thinner here, which is really, it's just a good cleaner and clean the glass very good. Now we're going to go ahead and use our adhesion promoter that's made by 3M. So now this is just going to go all the way around where the double-sided tape sticks. So now, having the part taped, what we'll do, we'll go ahead and pull the corners. You get it set up like this. And then what you want to do, you want to pull the little tabs over so you're able to pull it from the other side. So now what we do, we go ahead and we line it up with our marks that we previously made. Then we're able to go ahead and stick it. Now, the tricky part is to go ahead and leave this hanging loose like this, and it allows you to go ahead and pull the tape. As you pull it, you want to come back and stick it, and then pull it and stick it all the way around.
Now, do we leave those marks there?
Yeah, if you want to.
Now another product from 3D Carbon is this U-trim panel that goes over the rear window. It's all cosmetic, and it just gives your Mustang that cool 60s Mustang look. And you apply it using the same process that you did for the side window louvers. Just clean up the glass and stick it on. It's like I'm giving the car a massage right now.
Yeah.
Now earlier we showed you how to install this window louver, but it was all taped up and prepped and ready to go. Now Jose here is going to show us what they come like and what you need to do to prep it for installation. So Jose, what's with the tape that's all along the outside here?
The reason why there's masking tape on the inside of the louver is just to protect the flange for any overspray, any paint or anything like that for the double-sided tape. What you want to do, you want to have a clean mating surface for the double-sided tape. That's why if you do that, you see how you have a clean surface there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, then it just makes it so much easier for you to go ahead and stick the double-sided tape. So after you pull off all that there, what you want to do, you want to use lacquer thinner. Basically what it's going to do, it's just going to remove any contaminants, anything that was on here that you didn't want on there. Then after that, you use your adhesion promoter. You just want to soak it on there. Just get plenty of promoter on there.
Are these fluids something that come with the kit, or do we have to buy them separately?
No, everything comes with the kit, but in smaller form.
All right.
So then, what you want to do, you want to use your double-sided tape and go ahead and tape the part. What's kind of tricky is to turn the tape.
Just kind of have to
Yeah.
press it down and stretch it a little bit.
Yeah, just kind of tweak it a little bit. What you want to do, you want to leave a little bit of a gap so that the part will actually breathe.
So I noticed on the one that we have on the car already, on the inside here, is kind of this faux mesh grill action going on. So we've got some stick-ons that do the same thing.
Yeah, these are the supply decals that come with the louvers. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and pull these guys off of here. What you want to do, you want to use a little promoter and wipe the little area where the decal is going to stick, and that's just going to help ensure that it sticks really good. Stick them in there. And what you want to do, you always want to be sure you're putting a lot of pressure on anything that has adhesive on it, just to make sure it sticks.
Now, Jose, I've seen on some louvers where these are actually cut out as opposed to sealed with a sticker on top. What's the big difference here?
If the ones that are cut out aren't really all that great, because if it rains or anything, any water or anything gets stuck in between there, in between the window and the louver part, there's no way of actually getting it out of there.
That
so
makes
then
sense.
you're kind of stuck with little fishies floating around on the inside of your louvers.
Well, that sounds like fun, but a bad idea. All right, well, now that this one's done, we can go stick it on the car.
Stick it on the car.
Now we've got the front and rear bumpers on, as well as the spoiler and the side window louvers. We can go ahead and attack the side skirts and the fender flares. So first we need to remove a couple tree clips off the front of the stock one. There's 6 tree clips down at the bottom that we have to remove, and once we've got that off, we can clean the paint up a little bit and stick this on, and then our fender flares. Now once you've got all those black tree clips off, just use a little bit of persuasion to pull this thing off the car. Now you want to install the side skirts before the fender flares, and you can see there's a lot of 3M tape back here, so I'm going to bring Jose back in here and give us some tips on how to install this thing.
What we got to do, we got to put it on the car, we got to line it up, and then we have to evenly space it so it sits on the car right. Looking pretty good?
Yeah, about a 1/16 of an inch over here.
Okay, that's good. We'll open the door here. The most critical part of the whole deal is this little corner here, right here. So once you get this to line up perfect here, it all sits flush back here on the outside. We only go that far because we put the fender flare on here, and what it does is it allows us to line this up to match that spot there.
So we just want to align both ends so that they're flush.
Yeah. You always stick the bottom first.
And finally, the last piece of the puzzle here is this door cap for our body kit, and that's going to go right in there. But there's some tricks to installing that. So Jose, what do you got for us now?
We got these little plastic shims that allow us to go ahead and shim it up on the bottom of the door.
Okay, it just gives us a little bit of space there.
Yep, space in between. So
Okay.
what we'll do, we'll go ahead and take this off. We'll set this here. We'll pull the shims off. What we'll do, we'll clean it, and then we'll go ahead and stick it. So we'll end up with the back edge of the door. It gives us clearance when you open the front door. There,
Okay.
and then what we do, we pull the tape, push down on it a little bit, make sure we touch our spacer, and just squeeze it.
Now that you've got your body kit on, you can secure it to the vehicle using the provided screws. In the case of the rear, you'll have to remove the tire in order to get the screws there, unless you have one of these Milwaukee 90-degree offset adapters. In the case of the front, all you got to do is just turn the wheel. Now, hanging off the back of the rear bumper is this plastic piece. What you need to do is remove the stock bolts and replace them with the longer 10 millimeters provided by 3D Carbon. This will make the bumper more secure. And we'll be right back with more of Motors after the break. Check out the Motors TV website to watch all of your favorite episodes and more, and talk with other viewers online in our popular forums area. Catch the latest news and information surrounding the show, as well as the entire automotive industry. Take Motors with you on the road with our free app available for the iPhone and iPod Touch, and win free parts by entering in our monthly giveaway. It's all right here at www.motors.tv. Well, thanks, Jose, for coming down and help us install your Boy Racer body kit from 3D Carbon. It was actually pretty easy to do, and with your tips, it made it go a lot smoother, which I think our viewers are going to appreciate. And it looks awesome, too.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. It was really fun.
Yeah, it was. So the only thing we got to fix here are these stock wheels and tires. So we're going to let you head on out of here, and we're going to go look for some new ones for this Mustang.
Awesome.
Now these look a hell of a lot better, don't you think? Now up front, we're running 20 by 8.5 one-piece chrome wheels from Foose Classics called Nitrous, along with 255/35 ZR20 tires from Nitto called Invo. For the back of the Mustang, we went with these 20 by 10 Foose wheels with 285/30 ZR20 tires. Altogether, the package adds an awesome staggered look for our Mustang and leaves us with some serious meats in the back. Now that we're all done, we can hit the road. We want to thank 3D Carbon, Wetworks Garage, and MHT Wheels, as well as Nitto for their help with this project and installation. And a very special thanks goes out to A+ Auto Care and WTB Mufflers out in Poway, California for aligning this beast and helping adjust our exhaust for that new rear bumper. Now, for more information about the products and tools seen in this episode, or to watch more episodes of Motors, just head on over to our website. We'll catch you next week on Motors. Torx twin.
So then you're kind of stuck with little fishies floating around on the inside of your louvers.
That sounds like fun, but a bad idea. All right,
Yeah.
well, now that this one's done, we can just stick it on our viewers who are going to want to install the same kit on their Mustang.
This may be the most fun I've ever had with my clothes on.